Everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I want to talk about the ending scene here of The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live, and we actually know of a deleted scene that I think would have been really helpful for the episode. And honestly, a lot of the deleted scenes that were actually a part of the finale, I don't really know why they were cut. I honestly don't know. Like, the episode's pacing was very fast, like way too fast. It was very rushed. And also, the episode was only like, what, 47 minutes or something? It was 40 something minutes, I believe. And for a finale, you know, I just feel like it should have been a lot longer, especially if you're ending the CRM story in that big of a way. Well, you're not ending the CRM story. It's still going to be a story going forward, but you're ending Major General Beale's arc. You're ending sort of this big chapter in the CRM story, right? So I just think that the episode should have been way longer, and this deleted scene right here really would have helped. It really would have. Like, yeah, but we'll get into that. So before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. It's Monday now, so I'm just waiting on, you know, are we going to get a trailer at some point this week here? Anything for Daryl Dixon. You know, I was thinking about it. The one thing that, you know, obviously the rumor was like 2 weeks ago we were supposed to get it, or something like that, like a week or two ago we were supposed to get it. And I feel like, you know, because Snowpiercer is now going to be airing in July, that could have been why they never released the teaser trailer. Like, maybe that was their original plan, right? Was to release it then because maybe Daryl Dixon was supposed to premiere in July, but it could have been a last minute change to actually have Snowpiercer air there. And so maybe that was like old information, or maybe, like, I have no idea, but maybe that's why the trailer never ended up coming out then. The show has been pushed off like a couple of months to like September or October, right? Like, I think that could make some sense as to why we haven't seen anything yet, right? Because people are kind of wondering, because they said summer, and I think that we're just in a weird place with Daryl Dixon right now because they said summer, right? And so if it's September, October, that's obviously not summer. And June is happening right away, but there's been no trailer. There's no, like, you know, promos out there of anything. There's no artwork, official artwork on anything. There's just like literally nothing for Daryl Dixon season 2 right now. And if the show's premiering in 2 months, like, you're going to give us stuff like that, right? Like, you definitely are going to give us, like, I'm not talking about the trailer, like, at least based off of the previous spinoffs, they've come out about 40 something days beforehand. But before that, like a couple of months before that, we had artwork, we had a bunch of stuff, you know, for the spinoff. So I just think that's also a sign that the spinoff has been pushed off a little bit. But again, we're going to be waiting here, obviously week to week, just waiting for any sort of news. And I do expect a release date and things like that to come out very soon here. If it's not this week, again, I do think the first week of June, we should get something because of Daryl Dixon's premiere, you know, which is going to be happening at Tribeca Festival. So I think some news could come out around there, but who knows? There could be something sooner. So we'll have to wait and see. I also wanted to touch on one thing here, which I think would be really cool. Now, Rick and Michonne, or I guess The Ones Who Live, obviously had Warzone, right? Like, the characters were on Warzone, so that was very cool. And I feel like the other spinoffs, I think that was one of the things that I was just like, wow, like, what? Like, they're not going to get promoted in games and all of that, you know? And the rumor right now is that Daryl Dixon could be actually going to Dead by Daylight. I saw this from Game Rant, I believe. And again, it's just a rumor, so it could, you know, this might not be true at all. But I think that if it wasn't Dead by Daylight, that would be really incredible, because I know that's a game that a lot of people say you need Walking Dead characters there. You know, that's a game that people still play to this day, you know, so I think that would be very cool. Much more fitting, I would say, than having Rick and Michonne in Warzone. Even though I thought that was very cool, I think it's much more fitting to actually have Daryl in a game like Dead by Daylight. I think that'd be a lot of fun to play. I definitely will be playing a lot of that. So yeah, we'll see where that goes here. But let's actually get into the photos here, again, to what I wanted to talk about here. And so this here we got from @AndyYoungMakeup. She's been posting a lot of stuff, you know, just in terms of like behind the scenes content for like deleted scenes and all that for The Ones Who Live. I'll leave a link down below to her Instagram. Definitely go and check her out. I really do recommend like looking at all her work. She has a lot of great insight on just like, you know, the process of, you know, doing makeup and stuff for film. And it was just very cool to actually see what she had to say regarding The Ones Who Live. And I actually learned that, I think it was in episode 1, and I could be saying this wrong, so I apologize, but I believe she said in episode 1 that she actually had to put like a fake beard on Andrew Lincoln because of a scene or whatever. So I think it was just for episode 1, but that's actually kind of interesting. I never really thought of that. Like, I just always kind of assumed that, I mean, Andrew Lincoln is human. Obviously, if there was a scene where he didn't have a beard and then he had to do another scene where he needs one right away, obviously he's not going to be able to grow one that fast, right? But I just always assumed, I mean, just look at his beard in season 4 and 5, right? Like, really insane. So just really incredible insight here. And yeah, she actually has some images here from, again, these deleted scenes. I do want to see them. I don't know when the Blu-ray is supposed to come out for The Ones Who Live. If all the deleted scenes are going to be on there, I'm going to get it. If it's not going to be on there, I probably won't get it because, again, there's not really a point in me collecting that really, even though I do really want to. I want extra content on there if I'm going to be getting that. So I hope the deleted scenes are there. If they are there, I'll break all of them down. I'll even review the Blu-ray, do all of that, do a whole unboxing video if I have to. I just want to see these scenes here because we're seeing a lot of the, behind the scenes stuff of it. We're seeing a lot of, cool insight on it, but not the actual scenes, right? So I can't wait to see that. I hope that is on the Blu-ray because I think that, a lot of fans would actually appreciate that. There seems to be a lot of deleted scenes with The Ones Who Live. I think most shows have like a couple of deleted scenes, but with this show here, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that we just haven't seen, a lot of different scenes in general, especially with the finale. I feel like the finale was really like, it was worked on quite a bit, and I feel like maybe they worked on it too much to get it right? Because obviously, look how much it was rushed, right? Like I think a lot of people, again, that was like the main complaint about the finale, right? Is that it was rushed. But let's actually get into the actual scene here and actually talk about, what she was saying here about the scene. This scene actually takes place during the reunion scene. It's like just beforehand though. It's like just before Rick and Michonne see Judith and RJ. Now this is one thing that I've been really wanting to see for a while, but let's get into what she says here about the scene. She says that our two exhausted actors shooting the last scene of the night in the helicopter to meet Judith and Rick Jr. This scene was edited down to close-ups of Michonne taking Rick's shaking hand in her own. We never saw their faces. This is some of the cut footage where we do see their faces. Andy also wanted a smaller piece for his forehead wound so it wasn't distracting during such an important scene. We shot the reunion the day before, but this leads into that scene. Since we decided to go with a smaller piece the morning of the reunion scene, I ended up making the smaller wound with dermaflage and added the stitches from the original pieces. So really cool insight here to the scene. They actually filmed this after they did the reunion scene, and I don't know if that was the reason why they edited it. I don't know if there was something in the scene where it just kind of felt like maybe it was sort of detached from that and they wanted it to just be that. I have no idea. And like, I don't know if it was more of like they just really wanted to focus on the fact that, like, because Michonne does sort of like hold his hand because his hand's like shaking and whatnot, right? Again, I think we all understood what that meant. I think that, Rick shaking like that, obviously he'd be very nervous because it was like, he hasn't seen his kids in like 10 years. I don't know. I think just having a little bit more of that build up beforehand would have been perfect, and that's the one thing that we just didn't get at all. But again, they filmed this right here. I don't know why this wasn't included. I really don't understand why this wasn't included. I think this would have been so perfect to be in the finale. It would have been like amazing just to have more context to what was happening, and I think obviously it was a creative decision to not have it in the scene, but it would have been so perfect. It really would have been just to have a little bit more there. I think that when the CRM arc ends, like there's certain things about it where I think it was just too fast. Like, yes, the pacing of that episode was way too fast. I think if The Ones Who Live was 8 episodes, perfect then. You can actually get into some of the stuff there, have the last 3 episodes, 6, 7, and 8, be focused more on what happens there in that finale, right? Like, just kind of explain a lot more stuff there. And just really get into it a lot more. And I just think, like, even ignoring a lot of the CRM stuff and how fast it was, just go right to the ending after they defeat the CRM and you get like the news broadcast or radio broadcast of, just what's happening with the CRM and all of that. I think from that point on, there should have been a lot more. I even think just before that as well, show them going back to the Civic Republic in Philadelphia. Because first of all, I wish we would have went back there. We didn't actually go back there, which is kind of unfortunate. I think going back to that place would have been really cool, just seeing Rick and Michonne talk to other people, handing over certain information, discussing things, and just like having scenes of them saying stuff like, all right, well, this is it, we're actually doing it here. We actually did this. Now we get to go home and whatever. And just seeing some more stuff of Rick being very like, I don't know about this. This is really scary, and like, obviously not like, I don't know about this, but just feeling very nervous about it, very excited, but very just like, oh, I don't know how to feel right now, and then more scenes there, just some more build up, showing him like in the helicopter, maybe just like this here, maybe some conversations, maybe just some dialogue of him being like, so it's been 10 years, she's this old now, and just like Michonne being like, it's all right, don't worry about it, and then just seeing him a little bit more, just very, very nervous in that scene, and then just having the ending scene even play out a little bit more as well, where we do see Rick and Michonne see them. And Rick is just like, then we understand why Rick is just so, he pauses for a second to go and see them. Michonne goes and sees them first, but Rick for a second feels a little bit like a stranger, right? Like, oh, I don't know, like they're unrecognizable now. I don't even, I think they could have played that out a little bit more, because the way that the scene kind of played out, it was almost as if Rick just recognized Judith immediately, but like Judith has aged a lot, right? The last time he saw her, she was like 3 or something, 3 or 4. So, and now she's like 12, 13 or whatever, or maybe older than that, I guess like 14. If it's been like 10 years, right? She's probably around that age. So like, I just think that there should have been a lot more there in that scene, a lot more build up. And again, you could have kept the CRM stuff the same. That's fine. But I just think that ending scene there, especially considering the episode was 47 minutes, I think if you added 20 minutes of stuff just at the end there, people would have really liked that. That whole ending scene would have been perfect. Yes, there would still be complaints about the CRM stuff, but the whole pacing thing and how fast they went through everything wouldn't be so noticeable, right? But again, I still love the scene at the very end. Still very incredible. Like in terms of the story, they hit the right story moments, I think, for that ending scene where it doesn't mess up any of the story going forward for the Walking Dead universe. I just think that in terms of a viewing experience, I think you would have wanted a little bit more, right? Like, I think it just would have been really perfect. But I think seeing the scenes are really incredible to actually see Rick and Michonne, like in the helicopter going there. Seeing Rick and Michonne just like, well, especially Rick just being kind of nervous about going back home. It's just been so long and whatnot. There's still some stuff about, like I wish Rick would have saw other people, the location as well, they reunited in a field. Like that's just kind of random. I kind of get it, I guess. Like maybe that's where the helicopter was supposed to land, but you have Judith and RJ also running out there on their own. Someone else should have been there. I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have there. I think even if you reunited with like Judith and RJ, or maybe it was someone else, and then like say it was Aaron, right? Or like, I don't know, anyone else. And then they brought them to Alexandria or the Commonwealth. And like, I guess I get it because Alexandria was taken down, like the set was taken down, and so it might have been different to film, but I feel like you could have just had it where they were going to the Commonwealth then or something, right? Just had another, building shot or whatever. I think a lot of the Commonwealth is still up, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. I just think we should have saw a little bit more there. I think that it just, them reuniting in a field, I just wasn't that big of a fan of. But yeah, the deleted scene, really incredible to actually see. And it's just kind of one of those things where it's just like, man, I can't believe how much they actually cut out here. And there is still some stuff that I didn't actually talk about in terms of, things that they did cut out. I do understand, they are going to cut out a bunch of stuff because it's just something that happens with all shows. But I just think when it comes to the finale, especially, right? Like, I think that stuff you probably should have kept in. I think that would have been something that fans would have really appreciated, especially a scene like that. Because you go to the final episode and you can literally like, it's like a couple of minutes from the ending of the CRM arc when they blow up everything. A couple of minutes later, they're home with Judith and RJ and the episode's over. Like, it's actually honestly kind of insane. I feel like it's like 5 minutes in total. I think 10 minutes before that, they're within the CRM, just sort of, I think they just killed Beale, or maybe it's a little bit more than 10 minutes, but it's like such a short amount of time. It really is. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Post your thoughts down below on the deleted scene. Would you have liked to have seen this? Honestly, I hope there's a lot more deleted scenes like this, just because, especially with the finale, because I think it would be really cool to actually see. And, with deleted scenes, a lot of them aren't canon, or they're kind of canon, but it's like, I know that sometimes they're not, they're deleted for a reason. Like if the reason is because it sort of messes with the story, but they already filmed it, it is a deleted scene, so fans can see it, but it kind of messes with the story. So sometimes it's not canon, but I think most of them are basically canon. You can just kind of assume that, right? But yeah, anyways, definitely post your thoughts down below on the finale episode here. I guess the deleted scenes for the finale episode. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. And also, do you kind of agree with what I was saying about the finale being rushed and just having these deleted scenes in the episodes making it a lot better? I don't know. Anyways, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.